let's log into that instance. First of all, you just got to use the private key, which was associated as part of the key pair value, and we log into that instance. What you can verify, actually, this is AMI of Amazon Linux, so that can be checked by using your system release or the OS release. So that will tell you that it's actually Amazon Linux 2. You can check the OS release, and I'll give you a bit more details. Just mentioning that it's built on CentOS, and it's an Amazon Linux 2 version being used on this instance. So very first thing we got to do is update the system packages that exist on this image. That can be done with the update package, with the update option with yum. And yum is the system package management based on Red Hat based Linux systems. We're going to use update option. What it does is basically it upgrades all the software packages that exist on this instance. It does not do any clearing or any obsolete packages are not basically modified with that. So once this is done, as we see from here, what we're going to do is basically in the Amazon Linux, we're going to have to add the Jenkins repository information. One way of doing that is basically writing the information of the Jenkins repo in a file called jenkins.repo in the /yum.repository, as in repos.d directory. We'll just download the information from this release. So let me just get that HTTPS location, which has the Jenkins repository basically mentioned as a file, and we're going to write this into a file jenkins.repo under the /yum repos.d. So perfect, this is done. You can actually cat that and just verify what is in that file. Just telling you the base URL where all the Jenkins repository, all the Jenkins packages are in the Red Hat stable. We're going to do GPG check, which is basically just a validation of the packages. For this packages to be validated, we need to download the key which is being used to write those packages. So this can be done with the rpm import command. So let's just do this rpm import, and let me just write the copy and paste the Jenkins, the key information from the URL. So once this is done, this is all ready. So let's go ahead and do the upgrade now. So it will of course update any software packages, and you would expect that it's going to be only doing Jenkins because we upgraded the packages previously in the previous step. So the only new package was Jenkins, and that is being upgraded. So now before we install Jenkins, what we got to do is install Java version 11 at least, or Java version 7. So one way of installing Java is using an open source OpenJDK, Java Development Kit 11. So we'll just install this using this command, and it's installing Java Open Java Development Kit 11, and the -y is basically saying, I don't want to be prompted for yes or no option of installation. I'm ready. Go ahead and install that. So while this is going through the installation, it should be pretty quick. There we go. It's just done, and now we're ready to install. Jenkins. So let's install Jenkins, and it's gonna get those Red Hat stable release, and you can see that it's downloading the packages, and here we go. We are all done with Jenkins. So first of all, what we got to do is you can verify the status of Jenkins. Is it running? You expect it not to be running. because it's just been installed and we haven't enabled it, we have not started it. So let's enable it. We'll enable Jenkins, we're good with that, and let's start Jenkins. Okay, so the Jenkins is now started. Let's verify it, and perfect, it's active and up and running. System control command just validated that. We will log on to the Jenkins through the web browser. So let's enter the IP address of this Jenkins server, which is the elastic IP address in this case. And we log into the port 8080. If you remember, as part of the AWS security group settings, port 8080 was allowed from external, and this was closed down to only specific IP address since we made that video. And the very first time log on, as you note here, it's asking for initial admin password. So what happens is during the installation of Jenkins, an administrator password is created. This is required for this initial log on to the Jenkins GUI. So if we go back, let's have a look at that password. So here we go, you got to do sudo, and we got this password, so just copy that, and let's continue. What this is going to ask is to install the suggested plugin, so let's do that. We continue with the suggested plugins installation. It will take a few minutes, so for the installation to finish, I'll pause the video for now. The suggested plugins have been installed, and it's asking us to create a username and the new password for that username. So we'll just add a username, admin at test.com, and we'll just use that. Of course, you want to create that, and of course it's telling you what is the Jenkins URL instance details. We'll finish this installation, and we're ready to go to launch the Jenkins GUI. We're all good with that. So here we go. You can start creating new projects. Now your Jenkins server is up. You can create any project from here that you'd like to create, a pipeline or a freestyle project that you can start creating from the website. Perfect. So this completes the full installation of Jenkins on AWS, everything related to AWS setup, what security profiles and groups that needs to be opened up, ports that need to be opened up, and the installation of Jenkins has been done in these multi-part series.